Day 3 of the Chicago Bears training camp is now officially in the books. So we got a lot to talk about what happened today. So let's get into it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears and here to break down day 3 of training camp. So before I do, if you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I am trying to get you guys the latest and greatest with the Chicago Bears, especially with training camp and throughout the season and into the season. So you don't want to miss out. Hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video, and follow me on Twitter or X or whatever it's called nowadays, guys. All right, go ahead and do that. All right, so with that being said, let's get right into it. So I've got all my notes here that I've gathered, and we're going to talk about the biggest takeaways. The first thing to start with is that it was a relatively slow day at training camp. What I mean by that is there was a lot of installs, there was a lot of walkthroughs. It wasn't as intense, and it wasn't as much of, the Bears going full speed at it as you normally would probably in training camp. And I would guess that would have a lot to do with potentially the weather. It was stupid hot outside today. I mean, like, the heat was unbearable, 90 plus degrees Fahrenheit. So maybe that had something to do with it, or maybe this was just a planned walkthrough day. All right, so whatever the case is, it was a bit slower. So the first thing I want to talk about is the defense has finally started to step up. Now, we've been talking about Justin Fields and this offense the past 2 days of training camp, and rightfully so. They have been very solid. But now the defense is starting to kind of get their legs under them. We have seen some of the players make plays on defense. Most notably, Justin Fields had his first interception in training camp, and that was picked off by TJ Edwards. So I believe, again, this is the first pick by Fields, and the defense finally made a nice play. They had been getting their hands on balls during the first 2 days, but they were never able to come down with it. They finally do. Again, it's kind of a good thing or bad thing, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, they got an interception. It's good for the defense, but of course, bad for the offense. So kind of tough to, take away from that. But look, Fields still, I'll get to him in a second here. He still had a solid day. It's not like, he was throwing pick after pick after pick. But yeah, he did have his first interception today. He was under pressure, and it was intercepted by TJ Edwards. So love to see the defense finally starting to make plays. Another guy to call out is Jalen Johnson, who had a pretty dominating day today, man. Jalen Johnson had a lot of pass breakups guarding DJ Moore. He had a pass breakup guarding Velus Jones Jr. He had a pass breakup. Like, he is solidified, obviously, as our cornerback one. We know that, but he just keeps on proving it, okay? And then the other cornerback, right, the cornerback 2 spot, I have kind of been under the impression that it's been maybe Tyreek Stevenson's job kind of to lose. But look, Terrell Smith, the other rookie cornerback that we drafted, he's been getting a lot of reps. And today he got a lot of reps ahead of Tyreek Stevenson. I think this is just, again, to get them some reps here. And so Terrell Smith got a lot of time to cover DJ Moore and to cover the other cornerbacks the other wide receivers like Chase Claypool, etc. And he's been, fairly decent, but obviously he did allow a number of passes to be completed his way. But the point being is, I think that second cornerback job kind of more open than you think between Tyreek Stevenson and Terrell Smith. So you thought maybe it was Tyreek Stevenson's job, but Terrell Smith is getting the reps and the playing time to kind of make his state into, that starting cornerback 2 stop. So overall, the defense made plays today. The second thing to call out here, Chase Claypool is starting to, feel himself again and get his legs under him. He had 2 great catches today and won both his reps one-on-one versus Tyreek Stevenson, and they were pretty difficult catches. So look, man, Chase Claypool, you guys know how I am on him this year. He's been a little slow starting training camp just because of the rust, I believe, and the injury. But he is starting to pick it up, and obviously with Darnell Mooney still not 100%, Chase Claypool is kind of the de facto number 2 receiver right now in training camp. And I believe Chase Claypool, like I said, is going to have a big season. Keep sleeping on him, because I promise you he will make a lot of people pay. And again, I know it's only a couple of reps here, but he is starting to kind of catch a stride here. I believe his connection with Justin Fields will continue to grow as we move forward into training camp. And finally, number 3, the offense. Even though I talked about Fields getting picked off today, it still was solid today, man. This Bears offense just looks very stable. All right. And that's mainly because of QB1 and obviously wide receiver 1. And they had another connection today, man. Fields to Moore, rinse and repeat. You're going to be hearing this a lot this season. Justin Fields had a completion to DJ Moore, this time over Terrell Smith instead of Tyree Stevenson. I talked about how Terrell Smith had been in coverage. And then Fields also hit Cole Kmet on a corner route. I think that was defended by Jaquan Brisker. And of course, I talked about Fields hitting Chase Claypool 2 times and Claypool coming down with both those. So look, man, Justin Fields, like, he has been, on all accounts, sort of dominating training camp. Yeah, you can have a few miscues here and there. That's normal. But the offense just looks like it's clicking. It looks like he gets it. It looks like it is functioning on all cylinders and starting to get that rhythm there. And so I really, really hope this carries over into the regular season. But yeah, man, love to see that the offense is still having a solid day every single day in training camp. And also want to call out that Khalil Herbert looked really good today as well. Look, we talked about the pass protection issues, man, but oh my goodness, like, if his running style, his running ability, it is so good. He broke out some big runs today against the defense, both inside and outside, and he was even used in the passing game quite a bit with check downs, with screens and short passes. So look, we all know he lacks in the blocking department, but if he is able to just overcome it and be decent at it, man, I think he is going to be your RB1. Dante Foreman is also involved in some of those short passes, string games that I mentioned to you. But yeah, man, Khalil Herbert looked like the most impressive running back out there. So those are the main 3 takeaways today from training camp. Again, the defense did step up, but this offense is still solid. And you had a number of those offensive producers like Chase Claypool, Khalil Herbert show up and show out. So excited to see what's in store further for training camp. So let me know what you guys think about that, man. Leave a comment down below as always.